All right, guys, Dane here. Welcome back to Clarkey's NRL show, joined by a very special guest. We have Melbourne Storm 5'8", the most recent debutant of the club, Billy Walters, on the phone. Billy, how are you, man?
Good, thanks, Clarkey. Good to be on here talking to you, mate.
Absolute pleasure to have you back on. We spoke in the preseason trials. You told me how much an NRL debut would mean to you, and it's happened, Billy. You're an NRL player now. Tell me, was it everything you dreamed of, and has your life changed in any way since?
Yeah, it was definitely everything I dreamed of and more even. It didn't really sink in on the night, I guess. I was just out there trying to focus on doing my role for the team and trying to get the win for the night. And yeah, it kind of really hit me a couple of days later when I actually realised that I've actually realised my childhood dream and actually played in the NRL. So that was really cool. And then nothing's really changed for me at the moment. Still same old, same old. Just trying to get through training each week and try and play good footy. They'll be back at East Tigers this week, so hopefully they can just continue playing good footy for them as well.
Absolutely, and I do know that's your junior club, I believe. You do love the club. You touched on focusing on getting the win. Get the win, you did. An impressive classic Melbourne Storm victory, grinding out your opposition in the end. 2-point win over the Dragons. Now, I want to go back to before the game, if I could, Billy, and in particular, the jersey presentation. Now, just watching that video, man, I could sense the raw energy and the emotion, and that was just watching a video. So I wanted to ask you, how do you remember the entire event?
Yeah, well, the Melbourne Storm are really good with their jersey presentations. They try and make a big deal out of it, as I'm sure most clubs do.
Yep.
But we usually do it captain's run or the night before. And so it came to game day and hadn't done mine and Tino's yet, and I was getting a bit worried they forgot, but they had a pretty good surprise in store, so I knew
Yeah.
Dad was coming to the game, but I definitely didn't know he was going to present my jersey. And then when I found out, I know how emotional he gets, and I was getting a bit worried that he was going to make me get a bit emotional, but which we did in the end, but we held it together, and it was definitely something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Just such a special moment, like you said, and not one that many people in their lives would get to experience. So I can't imagine the emotions that you did go through. One thing you spoke about with me earlier this year, you said when you play for the Melbourne Storm, they expect you to do your job, and that's it. They don't expect you to do more. So now you've played with the Melbourne Storm. I wanted to ask you, do you feel you did your job?
Yeah, I feel I did.
Hmm.
There was a couple errors there. I think it was a forward pass, which I think could have gone either way, and then there was one I put out in the full. But I think the rest of the night, I thought my kicking was really strong,
Yeah.
especially in in the second half when it started to get really close and field position was very crucial.
Hmm.
And I thought my defence was pretty well as well. I think I surprised a few boys. Um,
Yeah.
Probably not expecting anything like that, but I think I was just fired up and ready to go, which really helped me in trying to get my defence
Well,
on
I
point.
got to admit, your defense was incredible. You touched on your kicking game; it was absolutely brilliant. You and Brody Croft really controlled that game with your kicking game. It was superb. And to be honest with you, Billy, you just slot in so seamlessly. Usually, when you lose a player in 5'8" of Cameron Munster's caliber, you'd think that team would struggle. But the way you fit into that team and the way you implemented your game plan, it just seemed so natural. But I did want to touch on one of those errors. It happens to everyone. Your first error of your NRL career. It was all going to script, as you said, the perfect kicking game, the one-on-one tackles, and then you kick it out on the full. So I wanted to ask, did you feel your confidence waver at all by that? And what is it like making your first error in the NRL?
Yeah, I have to admit when I was a bit down when I first did it, but your teammates get around you. They tell you not to scrap it and just get on with your next job. So they were really good with that and helping me do that. And of course, I always know Craig is probably up there spraying me from the box, telling me to get the kicks right. So you always got to try and focus on the next kick and make sure you get it right and just worry about that.
Yeah, and Bellamy certainly is a scary man. You just touched on your teammates and Bellamy. I just wanted to ask quickly, did any of them have any special words or anything for you at full time? Anything that you'll sort of remember for the rest of your life?
Smithy came up to me at the end of the game and just told me to enjoy the moment
Hmm.
with my family and friends who came down and watched and just reiterated how good it was to get a win on your debut. Not everyone gets lucky and gets to get the win
Hmm.
on their debut, so they might not look back as fondly, but we got the 2 points, which is what you really want at the end of the day, and to get that on my debut was even more special.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard-fought victory and a special one at that. Let's get on to some hard-hitting questions, Billy, if you don't mind. I want to talk about your future. Now, you're off contract at the end of 2019. I wanted to ask, have you begun any talks to extend your time at the Melbourne Storm at this stage?
Not at this point.
Okay.
I don't really worry about that yet. I'll let my manager kind of deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can do to control that is just to keep playing good footy and keep working hard. And if they'll see that, and they'll hopefully want to keep me around. So the only thing I have to worry about is just trying to play good each week.
Certainly sounded from your words there that your preference is to remain at the Storm. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I'd love to remain in the Storm. It's such a great system, and I've had my girlfriend move down from Queensland with me, and she fits in really well down here. So I think that's ideally where I'd like to stay. But it's rugby league, anything can happen. So have to see what happens, I guess.
Oh, it is a crazy game. You got that correct. Now let's go to Origin for 1 second. So tell me, after your father wins another series for the Maroons tomorrow night, rumours suggest... definitely, I mean, it's not a question, the Maroon spirit. But yeah, rumours suggest he could be in line for a coaching gig somewhere. Titans are a name being thrown up. But I wanted to ask, we've seen some great father-son duos over the years, and even currently with the Clearys at the Panthers. Would playing under Kevy be something you'd be interested in at some stage of your career?
Look, I definitely think Dad is ready for an Origin for an NRL gig. Where that is going to be, I'm not sure. But I think for the moment, just probably trying to pave my own way without, having the people say, I'm only there because my dad's coaching the team or anything like that. So I'd love to kind of get my own career started in the NRL, hopefully, and then. But at the same time, I'd love to be coached by him. I know how good of a coach he is, and how many things I could learn from him. So, maybe one day down the track, maybe. But for now, as I said, I'm just happy where I am at the Storm.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched on your father there, and obviously your father and your uncles are household names within rugby league. They are royalty, especially as far as Queensland is concerned. Did you feel any pressure carrying the Walters last name? Because you did say there you are intent on sort of carving your own path.
Not really. It's something special and unique, I guess. So I just try and look at the positives of having that. Having so many talented rugby league players in my family. Yeah. Just wanted to try and continue on with that. And Dad was pretty good. Or the whole family's pretty good. No one ever pressured me into playing rugby league. It was just something I always wanted to do. So there was no pressure from there. And then he could help me whenever he could. So that was something I guess not everyone gets.
Yeah, that's certainly a wild card, having the Queensland Maroons coach in your corner available whenever you need him. Let's go back to you, Billy. Where do you set your focus for the rest of 2019 now? You've made the debut. You're back at East Tigers this weekend. Is it sort of hard to set your focus when you sort of don't know which team you could be at each week, or where do you go from here realistically?
You just got to try and take it week by week, I guess. So,
okay.
Obviously, the Origin boys having a backup this week. Who knows what could happen there? So, got to make sure I'm ready to go if required each week. And then, I need to be playing good football for East Tigers to get confidence moving forward, just in case I'm ever required again, and hopefully can slot straight in if needed. Yeah.
All right, Billy. Well, we could bug you all afternoon and all night and pick your mind, but we will get you out of here on this one. How much do the Queensland Maroons win by tomorrow night, and who is the man of the match?
Oh, look, I'll tell you what, I reckon we're going to win by 8 points, and big Cameron Munster's going to be man of the match.
I love it. Cameron Munster at fullback, man of the match. The Maroons win. Billy Walters on the Clarkey's NRL show. Is there anything better? Billy, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really do appreciate your time this afternoon.
No worries, Clarkey. Thanks for having me on, mate.